my wife knows I have a rule I always, I can't. Whenever I see a woman carrying, I love to. It's good luck, I love to tell me that. Question.
I got a lot of things that I'd like to say, but one of the things that really has bothered me in the last quite a few years is the big brother notion of the federal government, being told what's good for me. I have to. I don't need Washington to tell me what's good for me. And it's been very bothersome for me with regards to that, and I think I'm not alone in this, that by what I just heard people clapping. I think people are really tired of the big brother feel of, don't tell me what's good for me. I know what's good for me. Govern the country. Protect my borders. Make sure the monetary system is safe. These are the things that what the government's supposed to be doing, not telling me what foods I can eat. Things of this nature. Govern the country. And I'd like to hear your opinion with regards to this point and how you can, 2 years is not a long time, and I know that.
Quick answer. I'm in the same room you're in. End of story. Absolutely, I'm with you 100%. Look, you better have when you talk about all these issues, you got to have a worldview. I taught American government. There's nothing more fascinating to teach. When Republicans and Democrats argue about issues, they're never arguing about the issue. They're arguing about the role of government. And you got to start with your worldview. There are problems in this country: schools, healthcare, taxes, foreign policy, clean food, clean water. Keep going. Sound currency. Every single one of these issues comes down to what do we want government to do to fix the problem? Well, one viewpoint. Your viewpoint, your viewpoint. There are a number of viewpoints, but that's really what these guys argue about. And I think because our president took control and moved so quickly with one worldview that it's created a real uprising of people that's been percolating for a while. Said, wait a minute, this isn't right. Because it was shoved down our throat. I don't want my government buying up car companies. I don't want my government telling me I have to get medical insurance. This Tea Party movement, I think, is really a movement of people who believe in freedom, who want to live their lives, who want to make money, keep as much of that money as they can for them and their family and their communities. And with a lot of these problems that we've got, it's up to that world outside of government to take care of people. Our families, our neighborhoods, our churches. You may not agree with that viewpoint, but I think, look, this is a fascinating time because I really think we're arguing about something as profound as that. I want Big Brother, I want government taking care of this looming healthcare crisis. I want it. That's not what I believe. I'm just saying that's a viewpoint. Or leave me alone. Let the private sector take care of it. Let me be more responsible for my healthcare costs. Yes, sir.
I'd like to give you an example of that. In July, I turned 65, and because the company I worked for, I had to go on Medicare. I had no choice. So what's happened is I went from having a very good health insurance policy to a crappy one.
They can't do that.
Oh, yes, they can.
They cannot do that.
If you're under 100 employees,
If you're an
absolutely.
active employee, you
If
can
you're-
stay on that health plan.
If you're under a certain amount, if you work for a company that's got 1,000 employees, you don't have to do that. If you work for a company that's 20 or less, you have to go on Medicare.
I don't think that's right.
And
So-
you're not happy with the care you're getting right now?
No, because I used to go to Mayo. Mayo doesn't take Medicare now. So,
And the other piece with all of this, with this debate, is what we as a society can afford. Look, Medicare is broke. Medicaid is really broke. Social Security, unless we do something about it, is going broke.
Also serves as a motor.
So outside of the quality of care, the efficiency of the services, it really comes down to, again, what do we as a society want to pay for? What can we afford?
And why is it that our government representatives aren't part of the new healthcare, the new Obamacare? Why are they being part of that?
Why would you?
No, she's saying is Congress has always exempted itself. They don't participate in Social Security, they have their own pension. They don't participate in anything that they've foisted upon us for the last 100 years.
I've been very public with a pledge for the last year that I won't take any health insurance that members of Congress get that we all can't get. And I won't. I've been very public that I won't take any pension or retirement benefits that they get, that we all don't get. So I'm going to go without pension and go without their wonderful health care plan and try to exist as all of us have.
That's the same plan.
Yeah.
Well,
It's symptoms to try to exempt, get the congressmen and senators on the same.
Well, but I think step one is we need people to lead by example. Then I think we propose legislation and try to get people to sponsor legislation and get legislation passed that says Congress can't exempt themselves, period. Question.
They have to live like we do.
They have to live like we do because they are us. Question.
Separate subject. How do you feel about auditing the Fed?
I'm all in favor.
Repeat the question.
How do I feel about auditing the Fed? All in favor. It's a good, important first step. Yes, sir, all the way in the back.
Yeah, we've heard the fairness doctrine. They want to shut down talk radio, conservative TV. Now I understand the FCC is going to try to regulate the internet. That's the last bastion of free speech. I mean, your election was due to a lot of us on the internet passing out emails, getting people involved. How do we stop that regulation and get these people out of it? They have no business regulating the internet. They have no business shutting down with this fairness doctrine. They'd be shutting down a lot of people.
They don't? Yeah, that's a great point. They don't, and because he can't get legislation passed, the FCC and the executive branch on their own will enact stuff like this. So what can Congress do in checks and balances is we've got to pass legislation to fight against it. And clearly, there's the public will to do that. Because this is an issue that once people really learn about it, there'll be real outrage. Yes,
Your strongest tool is defunding these commissions and these agencies and so on. Just simply don't give them the money.
and I think you will see that really play out the next 4 to 5 months with certain aspects of Obamacare. Don't know where everybody in the audience stands on Obamacare. I think it should be repealed tomorrow. And I hope and I think this will happen. I think the Republicans will put a repeal bill on his desk that first week. I doubt he'll sign it. But, then we do two things. We use our appropriations ability and we don't provide any money for these programs. But then the second most important thing we do is we hold hearings. Not big bad hearings where we yank people up in front of Congress and they're big witch hunts and trials. No, we need to educate the American people as to how this thing was passed. And to really take a look at each and every aspect of Obamacare to really understand what it's going to do. That's Congress's role. The last time Republicans took over Congress in 94, 95, let's be honest, I know we've got some people in the media here. The media is not always the Republicans' best friend. And the last time we were in charge and we went up against President Clinton and we stood firm at the gate and said, stop your spending, we're going to shut down government, we were hit over the head as the big bad guys. We can't do that. Part of that's our fault. Look, look, we want to cut programs, we want to cut spending, I want to repeal Obamacare. But we don't have to sound mean-spirited when we do it. We can say that with a firm smile, but we have to educate the American people. If we don't educate the American people, the media is just going to rip us again.
You got the stones for that kind of shutdown again?
It's an awful personal question. Yes, I think a lot of us do, but we got to do it smartly and tell people why we're doing it. No, I'm saying do it, but tell people why we're doing
How
it.
can you do it smartly when you got, like you said, the news media isn't your friend?
You know
You
what?
got Bill O'Brien.
I really think the last time, we were 2 months into it, people were saying, what do we need them for?
I have to.
Let it keep going. If it goes 3, 4, 5 months.
What else has changed in the last 16 years?
New media.
New media. New media. It's a whole new world. We don't all read, pardon me if you're here, the Daily Herald or the Northwest Herald for our news anymore. We're all over the place. And that competitive, open environment is glorious. Question.
I think one of the big disappointments that I had from the whole healthcare thing was that there never seemed to be a very serious discussion about tort reform. And I know doctors, I have some that are friends, and all of them to a T complain about the high cost of liability insurance, and that's really what's behind the high cost of liability healthcare.
It's a huge problem. Republicans talked about it a lot all of last year, but again, they didn't talk real loudly because they had. I can tell you, being in the meetings the last month or so, it's stuff Republicans want to come out with fairly quickly, talk about and put legislation out there, and you're going to see an increase of it at the state level as well. Defensive medicine is costing us a lot. Yes, ma'am, all the way in the back.
Healthcare reform is really only health insurance reform, and there's 100 different reasons why our healthcare system is a mess. And I would say, if you haven't already, now Senator Kirk had a great plan for a lot of different reforms that all made perfect sense. They were logical, made sense. It was not all aimed at one industry and destroying basically the insurance industry, which was not meant. You don't buy your car insurance to put new wiper blades on your car. You buy it when you crash your car, or when you crash your car.
You know what,
Health insurance should be exactly the same.
You're absolutely right. Go ahead.
If you don't buy your house insurance when your house is on fire.
Yeah, right. Here's an important point.